Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Bortles' Express going up against Dalton's Beagles. With that, let's hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call on this Week 3 matchup.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the San Antonio Express and the Cincinnati Bengals. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Throwing now is Bortles. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Second down following the incompletion. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. And how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
15 yards through the air and a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot.
Now Robinson coughs up the football. It's loose. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. First drive for this offense today, and our first chance to get a look at Tyler Eifert.
And he's part of the new wave of tight ends in the NFL. They use them in every position, sometimes even by themselves as a wide receiver.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
15 yards there on the catch and run.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Zebra!
And they'll run it here. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Eifert, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. Now the return, Rashad Green. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over. The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. A big play there. And even 70 yards. So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's running to get into the top 5.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Here we go. Green, 90. Ace, 58, real.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Dalton throwing on second down. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again.
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They send Green to the left on his own. And Dalton to throw. And unsuccessful there, trying to dump it underneath. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Third down from the gun. Dalton. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a play fake here on first down. Backing up. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Michael Johnson in there to drop him. And it'll be a loss of about 8. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On second down, here's Bortles. And his throw is incomplete. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Vontaze Burfict is a super talent and a fierce competitor. He can do it all at the linebacker position.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Bortles going to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Brad Nortman now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there. In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Trying to lay one up deep. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's San Antonio football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Brad Nordman now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Miles Jack not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Dalton going up top. He's got a man complete. A big play there for Cincinnati. And even 50 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there isn't a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Calais Campbell breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Second down, Dalton. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Dalton sets up play action. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And Bullock will put this one through. So make some room next to Tom Dempsey on the NFL's all-time field goal distance leaderboard. That's going to go down officially as a 63-yarder.
Let's not forget about David Akers, Jason Elam, and Sebastian Janikowski, too. So now Matt Prater at 64 has got a little bit of company up near the top spot. That was one heck of a kick right there.
And here now the offense heading back out there. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
Well, pardon me, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now this offense ready to take over again. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on here to punt it away.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's Brad Nordman now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And out now, here come the Bengals. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan, and Thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And that is incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. And that formation won't yield much here as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. Ten yards to go on third.
Ready, 380, 380.
So a designed run last play. Now Dalton to pass. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Steve Weatherford now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start. Bortles now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. A gain of 6 there on first. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
On second down, here's Bortles. Completes it to Lee. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TD.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
You mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 on the gain there. And that enables them to also pick up the first. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now Bortles. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Lee's got it over the middle. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Bortles going to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second in just about a few inches here. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. And he quickly clocks it, and they're going to have a good shot at getting 3 here before the break. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Myers able to knock it through. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. It's second down. Dalton looking. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to lose. Here's Steve Weatherford now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Time running out here on the play clock. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. Here's Steve Weatherford now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And taken right at the 35. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked.
That's his second sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Bortles to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing now is Bortles. He's got time. He's going to look deep down the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Here's Brad Nordman now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock, and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Set. 20.
Dalton throwing on second down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards.
Oftentimes, guys who do a really nice job on the wide receiver screen plays are really good punt returners. It's the same skill. Make the first guy miss and then pick up your blocking and get downfield. Nice gain on that play.
They come up in an offset eye. And they give this time to the tailback. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They're trying to establish that running game, but they're really, really having trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, when you're running against a really good 4-3 defense, that means you've got big guys inside who control things. Those big defensive tackles are making it very difficult to find open space.
Second down, Dalton. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Miles Jack in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? Hard throw, incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. 43 yards on the punt. 7-yard return, and possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Bortles now on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down, and he will find his man on the outside. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches.
A lot of fun watching. Isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
This will be fielded at the 8. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. 2nd down following the run. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab.
Here we go now. Blue 45.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Lee's got it over the middle. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. I'm ready now for 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Geno Atkins able to drop him for a loss of 4. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Black 58 round. There we go. Green 39. Slow. Baby.
From the gun, it's Bortles. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Kevin Minter coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push him back more. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Bortles now on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. Touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. They come up in an offset eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A little 360. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down, 5 yards to go. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 3rd down from the gun, Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Steve Weatherford now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now back out comes the offense. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Here we go. Blue, zone. Black 58, rail. Black 58, rail.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Second down here after the incomplete pass. Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. And they give this time to the tailback. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on second down and 3. They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
The slot man in motion right. Now they'll run it on the toss. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So Dalton now. And this time he is in.
Yes.
A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. To throw is Bortles. And he comes back with one complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
A lot of